Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Clash Royale video. So glad to have you guys back right before Christmas does start. Now I have a special video. We are going to be taking a look at troop mass battles in Clash Royale. Now if you're not sure what you're about to watch, this isn't actual Clash Royale gameplay, but a cool friend of mine who is great with animating things, he made for me a couple of clips of Clash Royale cards battling it out using a weird animation software that I'm not sure about. But this is not Clash Royale gameplay or private server gameplay. This is actually a Clash Royale animation made by a friend of mine, so thank you to him once again. I'll be giving him a shout out in the next episode. And something about watching Clash Royale mass battles is just so satisfying. I don't know what it is, but it's just fun to watch. And with that being said, here are the craziest Clash Royale mass battles that you'll never get to see in an actual Clash Royale game, and only here. Let's get into it. Now, starting us off, we're going to see the Dark Prince card face a bunch of Spirit Goblins. As this video progresses, we are going to be seeing more insane battles with mixed up cards, including multiple cards versus multiple cards. It just gets crazy. But take a look at this first clip. Next up is the Baby Dragon card facing the Electro Wizard. Will the stun on the Electro Wizard be enough to beat the splash from the Baby Dragons? Let's find out. Now this next battle is very one-sided. We're going to watch a bunch of Dark Goblins face off against multiple Skeletons. Now the Dark Goblin has a really high rate of fire, so I'm sure that it's going to obliterate the Skeletons in this 1v1. Now when the Elite Barbarian card came to Clash Royale for the first time, there's this huge question just circling around the game in the community. Is the Elite Barbarian card better than Barbarian? Well, we're gonna find that out right here, seeing a bunch of Barbarians face Elite Barbarians. Now here are some low tier cards including Goblins and Guards facing off against each other. Will the shields or the damage per second advantage of the Goblins be better? Let's get into it. Now this next battle animation is a much more fun one, and that's because the Lumberjack is a very ridiculous card, and when you see like 100 Lumberjacks dying at the same time to Valkyries for example, it's just gonna look insane. Take a look at this. Now finally here we have a high tier battle including a P.E.K.K.A and a Sparky. Very both expensive cards, P.E.K.K.A costing 7 elixir and the Sparky costing 6 elixir. These two cards both have great damage per second. Highest of the game I believe is the P.E.K.K.A, I think. I'm not too sure about that. But in terms of one unit cards, the P.E.K.K.A does have the highest damage per second. But here we're going to see, does range matter and does splash damage matter more than just having more health and a higher damage per second? We're going to see a great battle between these two big cards. Executioners versus Guards. This is a one-sided battle. Minions versus Baby Dragons. This is a battle deciding if splash matters more than having a high damage per second. Let's find out. Now, of this whole entire video, this is one of my favorite battles. Seeing thousands of goblins versus thousands of skeletons is just epic. Does it matter more to have greater numbers or to have greater HP? Now, if you guys love wizard cards, we're gonna see the electro wizard facing off against the wizard. Now, personally, as a player, I do like the regular wizard a bit more than the electro wizard, and that's just because with the electro wizard, I find it very difficult to utilize that zap spawn down just because of timing. But in general, this is a good one. Ice Wizard versus Electro Wizard. Ice Wizard has like the worst damage per second. This battle is pretty obvious, but in case you don't know what it looks like, stun versus having a freeze effect, this is what the difference is. Now this is as satisfying as it gets in Clash Royale. Fire Spirits versus Ice Spirits. All these cards are just going to go ahead and suicide. I believe the Ice Spirits do win just because there is more of them spawned down. But just take a look at that gameplay. That is some rare footage that you'll never see in an actual Clash Royale game. Next up is our second high tier battle in this video so far. P.E.K.K.A.s facing off against Mega Knights. Mega Knights are great for damage, but if you take a look at the gameplay, because of their amazing jumping ability, their splash damage, even though I thought it would be underwhelming for the P.E.K.K.A.s, was actually enough to make them win against 4 P.E.K.K.A.s. Are you crazy, guys? The P.E.K.K.A.s are meant to have a high damage per second just to take out healthy cards like Mega Knights, and seeing the P.E.K.K.A.s lose because of this ability really did shock me. Comment down below when you guys are done watching this video, which outcome of which battle surprised you the most. For me, it is definitely this battle right here, featuring P.E.K.K.A.s and Mega Knights. Another air versus air battle featuring minions and bats. There are way more bats than minions. I believe this is a 1-3 battle, but let's take a look at this outcome. Does it matter to have numbers or health? Now in Clash Royale, there are many cards, but there are only a few handful of cards that are 4 Elixir with a high damage per second. And those two only cards are the Lumberjack and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Now we're going to find out, does that Rage advantage beat the Mini P.E.K.K.A.'s extra damage per second? And although the battle does look one-sided at first, the outcome does change. You'll be surprised. P.E.K.K.A. versus the Giant Skeleton. Now in 1v1 matchup, when there's only one of each card, the P.E.K.K.A. will destroy the Giant Skeleton. But in bigger numbers, maybe making that battle 100 versus 100, will the death damage from the Giant Skeleton beat the mass numbers of P.E.K.K.A.? I mean, a win for the Giant Skeleton is to basically destroy all of the P.E.K.K.A.s. Take a look at which card does win this mass battle. Next up is the Bowler facing the Executioner. Now these are both 5 Elixir cards with different types of splash damage. The Bowler being more effective against ground targets, while the Executioner being better at attacking air targets, as it can do that with an axe. And as these two cards are both ground units, you'll easily see that the Bowler's advantage when attacking ground cards is much greater, as this card's splash damage is much more powerful. And finally, to wrap up today's episode, we are gonna see 1,000 minions facing 100 princesses. And of course, if you guys want to see more content like today's episode featuring crazier and more mixed up mass battles, just comment that down below. I'll be sure to take a look and to just see what you guys want the most. And I'll make the next episode tomorrow focused on that stuff. And remember, I'll be posting daily, if not double a day, of Clash Royale content and maybe Fortnite content. So make sure to be subscribed so you don't miss out on any epic Clash Royale videos and good stuff like that. But as always, you guys are amazing. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next episode. Have a great holiday.